I heard the Federal Reserve may raise interest rates.
Yes, in fact, mortgage rates have already started going up on the rumors.
That's why we just refinanced with Owning. We got a 30-year fixed 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. And we also took thousands out in cash to use for a bunch of other things. Owning made the whole process fast and easy.
Waiter, check please. I'm going to call Owning and lock in my refi now.
Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com and lock in a 30-year fixed refi at today's 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. That's 8332-OWNING or owning.com.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, subject to credit approval for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or log on to owning.com. That's 8332-OWNING or owning.com.
The all-new Tim and Subaru dealership is open, and they're celebrating by having a grand opening sale going on right now. It's extraordinary in size, and it needs to be. Tim and Subaru is one of the largest volume Subaru dealerships in the area. Plus, their service department is state-of-the-art, featuring 47 service bays to maintain the love. Come to Tim and Subaru's grand opening sale today.
Timmons of Long Beach.
TimandSubaru.com.
Best boss I ever had was a VP, and I was right underneath him, and he taught me everything I needed to know. It was always supportive, the best scenario. Like, I loved going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Worst boss?
Yes.
Micromanagement of a president who constantly would read everyone's emails that they sent out the day before. I think she just would go home and be bored and listen to people's phone calls, and I had to.
How long did you stay with that job?
About 7 months. And I only took that job because I lost my other one due to the pandemic.
Right.
And I had to get out.
Yeah, that's not a healthy environment to work in. A boss reading every email, listening in on calls. That's not good. Not good. But I love, those people that teach you on your way up. Those are special people. I hope I'm like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for calling. Hi, Kiss 98.5. Best boss you've ever had and worst boss on this National Bosses Day.
Yeah, so my best boss I ever had is actually my mom. It was kind of weird how it happened. I didn't think it was going to be like that working for my mom, but she actually taught me a lot, and she was able to teach me how to keep things professional and separate personal and professional, and so she is my favorite boss ever.
Love.
And then my worst boss, she was just, her tone, how she would speak to people was nasty. But the worst thing that she did was her two sons also worked for the company, and they would come in and just, the worst thing about them was that they smelled really bad. And she just would not do anything about it, even when we brought it to her attention. And yeah, it was just not a good environment at all.
Smelled like cream of mushroom soup. What are we smelling like? What's the smell?
Oh, I don't want to describe. It's more like BO.
Gotcha. Thanks for calling. I love that you loved your mom as a boss. Hi, Kiss 98.5. It's National Bosses Day. Tell us about your best and worst boss.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I can't even imagine what stories you're going to tell us. I'm excited. Go ahead.
So I have been very fortunate and had some pretty amazing bosses that have helped me climb through companies and, have gotten where I am today. And I have a pretty amazing boss right now. Unfortunately, I left the company I was at. So the boss I have now is just great. He works with my family. He works with my boys and their sports and everything. But the worst boss I had was I was at a company for 24 years. And like I said, worked through the company, great bosses all there. He came in and 2 weeks into his job. I was there for 24 years. He came in and his comment was to me 2 weeks into him being there was, you and I will never get along because you know more than me and you're a woman.
Oh, come on. People don't say that still. Are you kidding?
And I laughed because, I've had amazing bosses, really good bosses that have, made me grow and develop and, just become who I am today. And when he said that to me, I laughed and he's like, no, I'm not kidding. This is And I was like, oh, okay. So I lasted 8 months with him, and I was like, okay, not worth it anymore. So got in. I have a great job, and it's perfect.
Wow, it's amazing that some people can get away with saying those types of things, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it was reported, everything, but
yeah.
COVID happened, and we just move on.
Yes, you do. Thank you for calling. Hi, Kiss 98.5. Tell us about your best and worst boss on this National Bosses Day.
Hi. So the best boss I work for is actually, I work for her now. I'm a nanny. She is like the most supportive person. She never undermines me. She's always like, yes, I like that idea. Let's do that. That's a great idea. I just dropped off the kids at school. And then my worst boss was actually for a nanny family. She was absolutely crazy. So one day she actually had a fraudulent card charge on her credit card. And she thought that I was out buying vacuums to sell. So she accused me of stealing from her because she put a credit card in my name without my permission and ruined my credit. Because she needed me to have a credit card, but didn't ask me if she could do that because she had my social security number and everything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then, it's just the type of person that, like, everything you did was wrong. You could do this faster. You could do this faster. Why are you taking so long? Hey, hello, I have the camera going. What are you doing? And it's like, hey, I'm actually just, like, doing the dishes or playing with the dogs like he asked me to. She was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and so you got out of that position, and now you're in a good one. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. Hi, Kiss 98.5. Tell us about your best and worst boss on National Bosses Day.
Hi, I've had the same. Okay, so there were two bosses at the same job.
Okay.
And the first boss, absolutely amazing. He was so understanding. He helped me learn things. I wound up getting really sick at one point and had to get my appendix taken out. And he was so understanding, gave me a couple weeks off. Whereas the other boss, which coincidentally was his sister, she was the exact opposite. She did everything backwards, criticized every little thing I did. And on top of that, at this restaurant, we were open overnight. And we were the only restaurants open overnight in this area at that time. So on Friday and Saturday, needless to say, it got very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And she would send her son in with a group of kids to come get food while all of us are running around like chickens with our heads cut off already because there's only 5 of us working and there's like a minimum 50 people at a time. And she would send her son in and a group of kids to get free food, and they never tipped. They never cleaned up after themselves. And I finally had the courage to bring it up to her at one point, and when I brought it up to her, she yelled at me and called me disrespectful and said that I shouldn't talk about her and her family like that. And I said, all I said was, if he's going to come in with a group of friends, I'd appreciate it if he wouldn't do it while we're super busy.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he should tip because we are still serving him and we still do get paid under minimum wage.
Right, exactly. Wow. And the fact that she didn't see that, that's a red flag right there. I'm glad you called. On Kiss 98.5, it's National Bosses Day. Tell us about your best and worst boss.
So my best boss, I can say, was at a hotel. Super supportive, very understanding and empathetic. It was my first time working at a hotel, and every day he would actually thank me for having an open mind and understanding. And if anything ever went wrong, he would actually calm down and just tell me, okay, well, let's see what happened. Let's see what's wrong. And I'm like, there's no way people like this exist because I haven't had a good bosses in my life. So super supportive. I love that job until COVID hit, so got to shout him out. But anyways, worst boss, all I can say is it was in politics. I was very young, wanted to get into politics, constantly thrown under the bus for 3 years in my life. And all the way until I could no longer be thrown under the bus anymore, and they just had to find somebody else to keep thrown under the bus. And
give me, what would be, if you were young, what could you possibly be thrown under the bus for?
You would be surprised.
Really? Oh, my gosh.
It's really all I can say while on the air, but...
I heard the Federal Reserve may raise interest rates.
Yes, in fact, mortgage rates have already started going up on the rumors.
That's why we just refinanced with Owning. We got a 30-year fixed 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. And we also took thousands out in cash to use for a bunch of other things. Owning made the whole process fast and easy.
Waiter, check please. I'm going to call Owning and lock in my refi now.
Call Owning at 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com and lock in a 30-year fixed refi at today's 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, subject to credit approval for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call Owning at 833-2-OWNING or log on to owning.com. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
You've heard the line, 2 is better than 1. That's especially true when you're looking for a brand new BMW. Hi, I'm Danny McKenna with McKenna BMW and South Bay BMW. With 2 stores, BMW is sending us twice the inventory. In fact, we have the best supply of BMWs we've ever had this year. You want to drive the ultimate driving machine? Visit McKennaCars.com for a location near you. We can handle the process over the phone, or you can come to the dealership and kick a few tires. Remember, McKenna BMW on the 605 or South Bay BMW off the 405, where 2 is always better than 1.
Sweet tango apples, apples so good they make you smile. They're